Now, for the biggest winners of week 4, I think so far, the Vikings, they're a Super Bowl contender. They're proving they're a Super Bowl contender every week. They're 4-0, and who's beaten better teams than them so far in these first 4 weeks? They beat the 49ers. They beat the Texans. They beat Green Bay with Jordan Love back. And Jordan Love, that second half, he looked like he was back. Those touchdowns he was throwing, he looked like Aaron Rodgers. He still does with the technique and the throws he be throwing. But the Vikings team, they're legit. Sam Darnold, he's legit. With Kevin O'Connell, he's cooking. Jordan Addison had some big plays in this game, too. It's good to see him back healthy. Hawkinson, when those guys get back, man, when those guys get healthy, like Addison when he's healthy, Justin Jefferson, it looks like his chemistry with Sam Darnold is right where it needs to be. So having a good offensive mind with them, having Justin Jefferson, and having the defense playing well, that Vikings defense, 3 interceptions in this game on Jordan Love. They made a couple plays. So as long as the Vikings offense can continue to get some success, they're always going to have the lead because that defense is that fucking good. So this Vikings team, Super Bowl contender legitimately right now. They're well coached. Brian Flores, Kevin O'Connell, they're cooking. And yeah, I don't see this team slowing down. I don't think anybody's thinking this is a fluke anymore. After 3 straight victories against Super Bowl contenders too. The Packers, 49ers, and the Texans. Yeah, the Vikings are legit. I think the Ravens are definitely back. This is the exact team we expected to see coming into the year. First 2 games, they lost by an inch to the Chiefs. Should have won that game. The Raiders, that game was fluky. They found their identity. You need to give the ball to Derrick Henry. You need to give him 20 carries at least, and look what it's gotten you. 199 yards against the Buffalo Bills. Solid defense. Ran all over them. Had an 87-yard rushing touchdown and 150 yards, 2 touchdowns against the Cowboys. So when they run the ball, I don't think anybody could stop the Ravens' run game either. Lamar Jackson looks like he's going to run 4,000 yards this season too. He has 300-some yards rushing already first 4 games. Justice Hill out the backfield too is dangerous as an RB2. Keaton Mitchell, wait till he comes back. This run game is going to be even crazier. Even with the newer offensive line, they had a lot of success against the Buffalo Bills running the ball and the Cowboys. Those lanes were wide the fuck open. That touchdown, 87-yard touchdown, I don't think Derrick Henry got touched. So right now, if they stick to that identity, they stick to running the ball, nobody's going to be able to beat them. The Chiefs is really the only team that can beat them, and they just lost Rashee Rice and Pacheco. And Hollywood Brown's going to be back probably January. So right now, there's nobody that could beat the Ravens. Lamar Jackson doesn't even have to be Lamar Jackson. Derrick Henry just got to get going, and it's over for your ass. And defensively, if they're playing to the level they played against Buffalo, Josh Allen couldn't do shit. That secondary is elite, and up front, they're getting pressure. Kyle Van Noy, 5 sacks already in the first 4 games. He's playing great as a veteran, and they just signed Yannick Ngakoue. So, yeah, up front, they're solid. This defensive coordinator, Zach Orr, he's doing a great job with his defense. Kyle Hamilton, he's an elite safety. Roquan Smith. So they have elite players all across the board defensively. So the performance we saw from them against Buffalo is that's the defense we're going to see for majority of the season. So yeah, if that run game's going, that defense is playing how they played against Buffalo, nobody's going to beat them, unfortunately. The Steelers should be good about the game against the Colts. I know they lost. The Colts are a pretty solid team, well-coached football team. Joe Flacco put 2 touchdowns on you. It didn't look great defensively. It wasn't a great performance for them. Their defense looked human. But Justin Fields, he showed that he could bring this team back offensively. And offensively, you have a pulse. This is not an offense that's just going to score enough to win the game. They're just going to score 16 points. You win the game off field goals, or, you score 1 touchdown, it's enough to win the game. No, Justin Fields willed this team back in this game. It was 17-3, third quarter, 2 minutes left in the third quarter, 3 straight touchdowns. The score 24-27, that's the end of it. But Justin Fields, 312 yards passing, a passing touchdown, 55 yards rushing, 2 rushing touchdowns. So offensively, he was making plays all over the field. George Pickens had 7 catches, 113 yards. So the connection and the chemistry is there between those two. And the tight end had a touchdown, 50-some yards receiving. So the offense looked great. Justin Fields looked more confident. Arthur Smith, he called a great game. So offensively, you could build off of this. The offense finally looked like it had something there. Justin Fields has played great so far before this game, not really turning the ball over. But besides, that George Pickens fumble in the red zone, Najee Harris, stepping out of bounds, Mike Tomlin calling timeout. There was little things in this game that if they didn't happen, Zach Frazier snapping the ball when Justin Fields wasn't looking, some of these things didn't happen. Justin Fields and the Steelers would have won and been 4-0. So this is the best quarterback they've had since prime Ben Roethlisberger. Let's be honest. Justin Fields showed out, and this was his I have arrived as your franchise quarterback kind of game. He showed out big in this performance, and this is a lot to, hold your head high for. Justin Fields is playing at a high level. It's great to see, but I still think the Bears made the right decision moving on from Justin Fields because the Steelers, well-coached football team, the situation is the best for Justin Fields. So that's the type of team he needs to be playing on. And with Arthur Smith as his OC, that's the type of OC he needs to have success. When Justin Fields is put in the right situation and in all the positions to succeed, he's going to succeed. But when there's chaos and he's put in position to fail, he's going to fail. So Caleb Williams is a different type of quarterback. He's going to succeed no matter what. He's going to flourish if the circumstances aren't up to par. So that really was the decision for the Bears. As a player, as play style, he could be Patrick Mahomes. That's the type of quarterback we want. A quarterback that shit ain't going right, I'm still going to make it right. That's the quarterback we want. Justin Fields, in my opinion, he's a great player. He's not that player. So I think still Bears made the right decision, and I'm going to root for both of them to succeed, Caleb Williams and Justin Fields. The Chicago Bears were also a winner for me in week 4. Offensively, they were dead the first 3 weeks, but they showed a pulse. They showed life. DeAndre Swift had a huge game. The offensive line looked better. Caleb Williams is getting better every week. So I think the Bears, the performance they had, huge winner for week 4. Defensively, they look great. They beat a good football team that's well coached, that has a great quarterback at the helm, Hall of Fame quarterback. When you have those two, you usually can win games when shit's not going right for you. When you got elite weapons out like Cooper Kupp, Puka Nacua, especially when it's a coaching matchup between Eberflus and Sean McVay, you usually pull off games like that, but the Bears still were able to win this one, so I think they're a huge winner for week 4. Some people thought the NFC North was going to be the worst division in football this season. They thought it was going to be as bad as the NFC South.